welcome to the Bullpen of Doom, where we review because we care, in association with The Bloodshed. Wicked down with you tonight, once again, with another great album to review, and tonight I'm bringing the 10th installment in the Welcome to Quebec Metal City series, with a band that is pretty special, I have to say. It's a prog rock band from Quebec City, actually, and well, they have another thing coming. They're not your typical prog rock band, and that's why I'm going to discuss this album, so stay tuned, and we're going to talk about L'Abysse des Pensées by Shatters. L'Abysse des Pensées by Shatters. So, L'Abysse des Pensées is actually in French, of course, and it means the abyss of thoughts, which I find pretty poetic. I think it's pretty great for an album title, and well, the album has some songs in French. They actually got 3 songs in French, but you got others in English, and you got 1 instrumental songs to open the album, which I'm going to talk about pretty soon, but yeah, so that's it. And if we talk about the actual packaging of the album, I think it's pretty great. The cover art is pretty cool. I think it fits the album. It's strange, it's kind of gloomy, as the album is actually. Got great artwork throughout, and you got the lyrics and so the credits and everything, so that's everything you want to in an album. The CD is pretty cool. You got the band logo under it, and well, you got the song titles and the length of the songs, which I think is pretty cool, because well, I've got OCD, and I like to know how long songs are, and well, I'm a big fan of songs that last more than 10 minutes and are pretty prog rock, so when a song is 10 minutes or more long, I really like that, and it gives them more points. So, let's talk about this album. The first song is called Plane Shift, and Plane Shift is an instrumental song. It's an opener, and well, the drums in that song, actually the snare drums in that song sounds awfully bad. And I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. It sounds like every song 311 ever put out, and I hate that guy's snare drum sound. I think it sounds like some kind of trash can. I really don't like it. If you've listened to, let's say, Saint Anger by Metallica, Lars' snare sounds like shit. And I think on that particular song, and it's only on that song, so it's pretty cool and it's pretty good. I was scared at first when I heard the album, and I was like, oh my god, I don't want the snare to sound like that for the whole album, or they're gonna lose so much point. In my opinion, actually, they're gonna lose some points, and they didn't do that. It's only in that song that I don't know why. I don't understand why they did that, but they did it, and well, it's not that bad, because it's like what, maybe 4 minutes long, so it's not that big a deal. But still, they pretty scared me. They scared me off a lot, and I'm happy they didn't do that throughout the album. So that's it. And after that, after the intro song, the first song is introduced to us, and it's called L'Erreur Originale, which means the original sin. And when that song starts, we are treated to a beautiful intro. It's so cool. I was listening to that, and I was transported somewhere. I was flying. It was so cool. But then the singer came in and broke everything else, and I'm sorry, but I think personally that well, actually, I'm a band manager, and if I was their manager or any A&R or big record company executives, I would tell them to find themselves a new singer. I don't know if the singer is temporary, but I know all of these guys play instruments, and they are pretty good at it. They're prog rock musicians. They know their stuff. They play greatly, and I really like how they play, but I think the singer should step down. In my opinion, it doesn't serve the album. He's not on pitch. Usually he's not, and I'm not a big fan of his voice, I have to admit. And I'm sorry, it's not meant to harm anybody or to be a bitch or whatever. I'm just giving my true opinion, and my true opinion is that this guy should not sing. the first time I heard the album, I actually didn't like it because of that, and I chose not to review it right there because I knew I wouldn't give a great critic. I wouldn't be objective because I wasn't able to finish the album because the singer really annoyed me. So I put it down and I just forgot about it and decided to review it some other time. And I've been listening to that album for 3 days now to make sure that I would review it the right way and give every pointers I could, and I'm gonna do that. But the only big complaint I have to give is that this guy has an awful voice and he doesn't sing well. He's not a good singer, and I'm sorry, but it's the truth. Well, it's my opinion anyway, and it's not that and everything else is so awesome, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute. And I want to point out that it's not meant to attack anybody and it's not meant to hurt anybody, but it's the truth. And as a band manager, I would tell you guys to replace your singer. Find yourself a real singer. Find yourself somebody that can take that music you're writing and playing and uplift it instead of downgrading it. And it's, again, not to be a bitch or to be bad or whatever, but it's the truth. And this album here is amazing musically. The lyrics are great, the music is well written, and it's well played, but your singer is so awfully bad, and I'm sorry. So let's talk about the rest of the album, which like I said is pretty awesome. These guys, they know how to play. Great guitars throughout the album, great solos, great riffs. Drums is amazing, and I'm so happy that they changed the snare sound. It drifts to something pretty great. The drums are well mixed, and I'm pretty happy about that. We hear the bass. The bass is pretty awesome. Actually, my favorite song is Open Eyes, which is clocked at more than 10 minutes, so of course it was going to be my favorite song. But this song has so much to offer. It's pretty great, a real prog song, really extended. These guys, they took their time to write it, they took their time to play it, and it builds up just right, and I really like that because it's really smooth at time, and it goes faster and then comes slower, and that's pretty cool. I really like that. I like the fact that they change tempos and signatures. That's what prog is all about, so that's pretty great. And well, in some of these songs, actually, even the singer actually even tried to sing guttural in guttural voice, you know, like death metal, and that didn't work at all. I'm sorry, but that was probably the most awful part of the album. And again, I feel bad, but it's the truth, and I have to say it because well, that's my job, and I'm here to tell the truth and to tell actually what I think. And this is what I think, so don't do that, or hire a singer that can do that, because it's not good. And I feel bad again but it's my opinion and I have to say it. Yeah, so vocally this album is pretty awful, and but that's why it's so hard to review, actually, because I had a hard time. That's why I didn't review it right now, right when I heard it, because it's pretty hard to review an album that is so awesome on one side and so bad on the other. And I was listening to those songs, I was like, oh man, that is so great, oh my god, that is so awesome, and then bam, you had a singer coming in and it was getting awful, and I was like, oh my god, is he gonna shut up? And I'm sorry, but it was what I thought, and so I decided to put it down. And when I put it back in the player and listened to it again, I had the very same opinion like 2 months later or whatever. So I think, well, in my opinion, it's not good. The vocals are awful, and I think they should do something about that. And I'm pretty I'm sorry, I feel so bad about that, but I think I'm not gonna say it enough. But anyway, that's my opinion. But you got some great stuff on here, guys, and I'm telling you, you really got some great songs. You got some great instrumentation. If you like prog, if you're a Dream Theater fan, if you're like some old prog, sometimes it sounds like old Yes or old Jethro Tull with the keyboards and everything. So that's why I'm saying you have to listen to that if you're a prog fan, you have to listen to this album. It's great. Musically, it's awesome. It really is. And I'm telling you, I'm a big Jethro Tull fan. I'm a big Genesis fan. I'm a big Dream Theater fan. ELP, everything. And I'm a big Pink Floyd fan. And I think you guys should listen to that if you like prog. Just go over that vocal, and maybe you like it, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not saying I'm right, and I'm not saying my opinion is the right one, but it's mine and I have to say it. But I'm telling you that this album is worth a listen. And if you like prog, you should definitely check it out. It's a band from Quebec City, and I haven't seen them play live, and I hope I'll be able to. And I hope they'll come here in Montreal, or maybe I'll go down there in Quebec City. I don't know, but I have to see this band live, because I hope they'll make me wrong in some point. I hope this guy sings so great live that I'm just gonna have to apologize. And if he does, I'll do it. I promise. And I'm saying it. I'm saying it here on camera. If this guy sings like an angel live, I'm gonna come on camera and apologize personally. But I'll have to see them to see if it's right or wrong. So we're gonna move on now, and we're gonna talk about the actual production and execution side of the album, which is more technical. So stay tuned, and we're gonna do that right now. So, L'Abysse des Pensées is a self-produced album, and it's pretty impressive, I have to tell you, for a self-produced album. First of all, the packaging is awesome. These guys, they've put a lot of effort and a lot of money into that album. It's professional. It looks like an album that like Dream Theater could have released. You got everything that a professional album needs. You got your barcode, and you got your song list, and you got a great cover art. So on that topic, that's A1, that's a plus, and it's a product that can be sold anywhere, and no problem, and that's pretty cool. Because you got some independent bands that self-release their albums that couldn't be sold in stores because they're either cheap packaged or they look like a demo. But this is an album, and this looks like an album. And let me tell you something, it sounds like an album. And this is why this band is gonna still have a great quote in the end, because yeah, their singer sounds bad, and I think he should step down and be replaced, but everything else is so great that it's gonna save the album in a way. So let's talk about the production side, which is again awesome. This album sounds so great on every part, even the vocals. The vocals is well recorded and well placed and at the right level in the mix. Nothing is too loud. Usually albums are mixed with the vocals mixed too loud. This isn't the case of this album. And the guitars, oh my god, the guitars sound so great on that album. And I'm a big fan of guitars, I'm a big fan of bass, and I like guitars that are raunchy, that are there, and that are at their places. If you got harmonies or whatever, I like to hear both of them in stereo and at their place. And if you guys don't know that, I'm a sound engineer, I'm a certified sound engineer, so I'm a bitch on technicalities like that. I like my albums to sound great. I know how to mix albums, I know how to make albums sound good. Maybe I haven't done a lot of them, but I know how to make them sound good, and this is an album that sounds good, and this is what's somehow pretty impressive again, because well, this is a self-produced album, so I don't know if these guys have like courses in sound engineering or if they know anything about that, but if they don't, they actually do, because it sounds pretty great. And if they learn that like playing with the software, it's pretty impressive. And again, kudos on that, guys. So that's it. And drums, except for the first song with the snare that sounds so bad, everything else is great. I like the kick drums. It's there, it's present, it booms, it's got some oomph, and I like that. The drums got balls, and it's great. That's what drums should be all about. And guitars, like I said, are raunchy. They are there. I like the distortion sound. Sometimes guitars are too distorted. They are not. They are prog guitars. Sometimes you have some acoustic guitars that sounds beautiful. It's beautifully mixed, and they put some effects here and there, and I like that. I think a lot of more bands should use effects, but in that matter, you know, just a teensy bit of effect here and there on the guitars, a little bit of reverb on the vocals, and maybe a little bit of reverb in the solos, which is usually not used, and I think they should do that because it perks up the solo. And on my part personally, when I mix solos, I always mix them with a little reverb. I think it does the job and it's pretty great. So that's about it for the production side. If we talk about the execution side, well, I'm not gonna say it again, but well, I'm gonna say it again, but I'm not gonna talk about that for a long time. Vocals are awful, and I'm sorry, but it's the truth. Vocals are not great, and I think they should change their singers. Like I said, I think he should step down because he plays guitar. So I think he should stay on guitar, and maybe I'll hire somebody else. And again, I want to point out that it's not to be a bitch, and I'm sorry if I've hurt your feelings, Martin, but it's the truth. Well, it's my opinion anyway, and like I said, if you impress me, if I go see you live and you kick my ass, I'm gonna come back on camera and apologize and say that I was wrong, and I won't have any problems doing that. But for now, it is what it is, and I think this album sounds bad vocally. So I said it, and I'm not gonna say it again. So that's it. For everything else, guitars, bass, and drums are amazing. I love the keyboards. I love the writing style. I love how they play it. I love the solos. I've enjoyed that album on so many levels. Every time you had like a big instrumental part, I really liked that. It was pretty great, and I think you guys should carry on writing great music like that, but it is what it is. So, well, here's my quote. So the Wikidom seal of approval quote is 9.5 out of 10. And 9.5 out of 10 because the album is so well packaged. It's got a great cover, a great booklet, a great cover art, everything you need to know about the songs, about everything else. The songwriting is awesome. I think the lyrics are great. Well played, well executed, well mixed, well produced. So I think that the vocals is such a little part of of the album that it deserves to be listened to, and it deserves to be higher in the quote range, if you want, because of that, because it's still a great album, and it's still worth listening to, and I'm still very proud to have that in my collection. It's one of the jewel of Canadian metal, and if you like metal, if you like Dream Theater, you should listen to that, and I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. And if you guys don't agree with me, if you think the vocals are great, if you think I'm full of shit or whatever, just tell me in the comments. I can accept to be wrong, and I can discuss that with you guys if you want to. And I'm open to discussion. I'm not saying that I'm right. So you guys, if you want to discuss that, just hit me in the comments, and we'll do that. And but in my opinion, I think the vocals are not good, but everything else is pretty awesome. So with all that said, that's all for me. So once again, if you guys like what you see, subscribe to the Bullpen of Doom, and give us shouts. If you want me to review your album, contact me. If you want me to review an album, anything, just write to me. If not, it doesn't have to be metal. Like I said, I'm gonna review something else. I have some other reviews in the works, and I'm gonna bring them to you soon. So anything, you want me to review your album, you want me to review an album, just hit me up or write in the comments or send me an email. But if you like what you see, find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter, subscribe to the Bullpen of Doom. I'm doing that for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'd like to have some feedbacks from you. Suggestion, anything, commentaries. I'm open to suggestion and everything. So that's all from me. It was Wikidom saying take care, good night, and stay metalheads. Cheers.